This is a new fuel pump sending unit. This is my 1995 Toyota Celica GT. I'm going to show you guys how to install this sending unit in this car. So the reason why I'm installing this new sending unit is because I broke my other one. The reason why is because, I'll explain to you really quick. I had to take the gas tank out of this car, and the pipes were rotted for the crossover tube for the vent circulation, and I broke them. The only problem is when that happens, you can get gas that'll slosh and spill out. So because it was right on the side of the tank, and yeah, there are baffles in there, but I don't want to risk spilling gas out on the racetrack. So what I did is I got some hardening putty, and I puttied it so it's rock solid on the tank. The only problem is there's nowhere for the gases to escape. So I left my gas cap open. The only problem is when I fill the gas, when I put gas in the car, it overfills out the filler neck because there's no vent circulation and there's no air. So what's happening is the positive pressure is just exploding on the inside and shooting all the gas out when I go to fill it up with gas. My solution was to drill a hole in the top of the sending unit and put a little vent valve on it so I could let the gases escape. Problem that happened is when I went to go drill my hole, the drill bit got stuck, rookie mistake, and it just completely broke the sending unit. And I was so mad because I finally drilled the hole and the whole thing just spun on the drill bit. It fell, and it was just a nightmare. So I ended up breaking a bunch of things, and the float isn't sitting on there right. It's not going to read the gas level properly, and I ripped the wires out. It's just, yeah, it wasn't worth it. And I mean, this thing is in good shape. It's just not. Yeah, if somebody would ever buy this, they would need to fix it. But I'm not going to sell it. I'll just keep it for parts just in case. But it does have this brand new fuel pump on it. So I'm going to go ahead and replace the fuel pump that's on that one with this one. Because this one's brand spanking new. And I don't know how many miles this one has. This one is in way better condition anyway than the one that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and swap the fuel pump. And then we're going to install it in the car. And I'm going to show you how. Alright, so here I am. Here's the new sending unit with the old fuel pump. I'm going to keep this fuel pump because I have a feeling that this is actually still in good shape. But I'm going to show you how to disassemble it. So go ahead and grab a set of pliers. Take these two little clips off. And go ahead and don't pull on the sock. Just slide the fuel pump out with your hands. You got to get this grommet out. So just go ahead and slide that out. Maybe pull up on it and slide it out. Because if you pull up on the fuel pump and slide it out, you can get that grommet. Oh, better idea. Push on the bottom and then slide it out. There you go. Yeah, that's the way to do it. So go ahead and do that. Now don't just pull on it. Kind of just try and work the fuel pump off. There is a clip on it. Ooh, I just spun the whole fuel pump body. I didn't mean to do that. There is a connector on the back right here. So go ahead and grab your pliers and grab the back end of the connector. Let me see if I can do this with a flathead. See if I can get a better camera angle. Push down on the connector and see if you can get it out. Yep, so get your flathead, put it in between. See if I can get a good camera angle. It's kind of difficult. But right here, there's a little tab. Put your flathead in between, push, and then push up. And then the connector should come right off. All right, go ahead and do that. Get that out of the way. And now you can go ahead and get your little pliers. Put it on the top part where the metal is, because the bottom part of the fuel pump is plastic. And go ahead and spin actually, I mean, I kind of want to leave this top one on because it's actually in decent shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to get this old fuel pump off. Don't break the fuel sock. If anything, actually take it off. There's a little retainer clip on the bottom right here. So what you can do is get your little flathead, kind of just work it. I'm gonna need yeah, so get your flathead on the plastic tab, push up a tiny bit, don't break it, just enough so you can get the little metal retainer clip popped up like that. And then once you do have it up, you can slide your flathead underneath it and then kind of work it off a little bit at a time. Work it in like a circle so you don't just put pressure on one side or break one side. Kind of just work that off a little at a time. Make sure you're putting even pressure and don't lose this. Keep it somewhere you're not going to lose it. So I'm going to put it on top of that sock because I can actually remember and see it. So to get this off, now you can put a tiny bit more pressure on the plastic piece itself. Just a tiny bit. Don't lift up too hard. And if it's not coming off right away, get underneath the sock part and go ahead and, oh, I cracked it a little bit. It's not broken yet, but it's very fragile, so you have to be careful. All right, go ahead and grab. Yeah, this is difficult. Ugh. Let me see here. All right, so I got a little bit of it up. All right, so put right underneath, right on the corner of the fuel pump, and pry on the big part and do it on each side so you can work its way off. And there you go. Now it's off. Now, I want to take this bottom line off because I want to keep this line and I want to put my fuel pump on it. So I'm going to grab the bottom hose with the pliers and I'm going to use my hand to spin the fuel pump. Geez, that's tough. You have to be careful with this. This is super fragile. You don't want to break anything. There you go. You got the old fuel pump out. This line is actually in pretty decent shape. It's got very minor rot, dry rot, or gasoline fuel leaking rot on it. So it's still in really good shape. I gotta take the retainer clip off this fuel pump, so let me do that really quick because I broke the sock. Oh, that just flew into outer space. All right, get this one. It actually flew on the table, so if I need it again, I'll just grab it. Go ahead and get your new sock. Put the new sock on. Push it on just how the other one was. Give it a little tap on the big plastic part so you can make it sit down properly. Now you have the metal sticking up again. Go ahead and grab your little retainer clip and shove that on there. Same way it came off. Get it lined up with your fingers and then you can kind of just work it back on with the screwdriver. I don't know if these are one-time use. I don't think so. I think they're just little clips that you can use. So, yeah, just go ahead and keep working it back on there. All right. Clips back on. Go ahead and get your fuel pump. Put it on the hose. Now, get a little bit of WD-40 maybe, and put it on there just so you can have an easier time. Maybe put the WD-40 on the end of the fuel pump. I'm gonna try and just put it on to see if I can get it. Yeah, mine slid on pretty damn easily, so I'm not worried about it. But in your case, if you're not having this easiness as I am, just go ahead and get a little bit of WD-40 until you can wiggle that fuel line back on. And there you go, we're practically on there. So, wiggle it on until it's fully seated. There you go, fuel pump is on. So now, go ahead and grab your little grommet that we had before. This one's ripped. I'll grab this one. Put it on the back end of the fuel pump, just like how the other one was sitting on there, just like that. And go ahead and push. This fuel pump I have is actually a little shorter, which is interesting. That's interesting. Let me see here. Yeah, so look at that. The fuel pump I have is actually a little smaller, but yet mine's brand new. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna see if I can double layer this with this other one to get that to go on there, right? All right, there you go. So I just double gasketed my fuel pump so it'll stay in place. I'm gonna grab a zip tie or two and wrap it around the fuel pump itself, so it just doesn't wiggle a lot, but there you go. So here is that supposed to be on there? Yeah, I guess so. All right, so now go ahead and grab your pliers and, oh, actually first grab the plug that you got to put on the fuel pump. This plug right here, and grab that and clip it on, lock it into place. It looks like the clip on mine is actually broken, but it's not going to go anywhere. Yeah, it's not going to move. It's pretty tight, so that's fine. Just make sure you plug it back in place. Yeah, so go ahead and push down on that. Grab your pliers. Go ahead and put those back on. There you go, just like that. Now your sending unit is ready and assembled. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some zip ties on it, and then I'm gonna show you how to put it in the car. Also, one other thing, make sure you grab your gasket off the ring around your old sending unit and put it on the new one, just in case your new one doesn't come with one, you know, just in case. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this in zip ties, and I'm gonna go commit a sin really quick and do the same thing I did last time and drill a hole through the top. This time, I'm gonna put it in a bench vise because I'm an idiot. I don't know why I have a bench vise. I don't know why I didn't put it in the bench vise before so it didn't spin. So I'm stupid. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the vise and put a tiny hole in it so it can evacuate vapors. I'm fucking stupid. I could have saved myself $150 if I wasn't an idiot. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So there you go. Why? I wasn't even putting any pressure. It broke right off the frickin'... That's not good. It didn't even break the bit. It just snapped at this thing. Oh my god. Dude. We alright? Are we good? Jesus, I wasn't even putting any pressure. I was going so slow. Oh my god. Alright, well, it's actually spinning straight now. It was probably fucking broken. That's all I wanted. Jesus. Fine, thank God. Here I am sitting inside the car. It smells like gasoline because I've had the fuel thing off of it for a while. I'm gonna show you what exactly is in there because I had it removed already, so it's not a. I'm more or less showing you installation, but it's pretty easy. I'll just reverse what it is I'm showing you, and you'll be able to get it out. So first off, to start off, you're gonna have a rear seat in your car. I don't. The rear seat, there's a clip here, and I'm sitting on one right here. Pull up on the seat and just rip it up, and then fold the seat back. Get the seat out of the way. You can take it out, whatever. It's not hard. You just have to unclip it. There are probably clips back here somewhere. Just unclip it. You're gonna see this if there's a carpet there. I doubt it. I don't think there's a carpet. I think the seat covers it. You're gonna see this panel. So this panel has 4 Phillips head screws holding it in place. So I left these here just so I remembered what they were for. And then you're gonna have underneath this, you're gonna have your fuel line. And this is gonna be some kind of purge back to the rail somewhere. I don't really know exactly where that goes, but it goes somewhere. You're gonna have bolts on each one of Phillips head. Now, for my case, don't bother trying to unscrew these with the Phillips head. Just use an actual socket because I feel like the Phillips heads just strip out. And this is, I'm using a 5/16 to accommodate for rust because these had a lot of rust on them, so I couldn't fit a normal socket on there. They might have been like an 8mm or something like that, but I couldn't fit one on there, so I used the 5/16 because of rust. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this back in, and I'll show you what other tools you need for like the fuel line and stuff. Actually, I'll probably just show you how to snake it in while I have my hand off of it. Go ahead and get the float and put the float and the sock in first. Make sure you get the float and the sock in there first. And then go ahead and turn it. And then drop it in place. Get that fuel line out of the way. There you go. Now it's in there. Go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and tighten those bolts down. Do them by hand. Don't zap them with the gun. You'll just break them. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quick. So go ahead and grab this line, slide it over this, and just get your pliers and go ahead and clip that back on. Just slide the clip over. If you don't have that, you can, sure, there's a different clip you can find. This fuel line, make sure this fuel line is fully on because you don't want to cross thread that. Go ahead and slide that in there and make sure it's fully in, and then start turning it a little bit by hand if you can. So make sure that's in there all the way as much as you can with your hands. Go ahead and grab, I'm using a 3/4 and I think a 14 and a 14, yep. So I'm using a 3/4 and a 14. Go ahead and put your, I got the wrench. Go ahead and put the 3/4 on the big end, and then go ahead and put the 14 on the little one, and go ahead and tighten them in opposing directions till it's tight. So go ahead and just tighten those up as much as you can. That's good. It's pretty darn tight. And then take your lid. There should be a plug on it. Plug that in. So let me put these down. And go ahead and clip that in place. Put the lid back on, like so. Go ahead and screw the lid down, and then we're going to start the car. Now, I don't actually expect this to start on the first try. I don't know if it even will. I don't know. I have to see, because I probably have to prime the fuel system in order to see if it'll get going. But let's see. Uh-oh. That was really weird. What the hell is happening? There's probably air. Let me see if I can fill it up with gas. Oh boy. Oh God. Well, at least I can fill it up with gas without having it overfill. Important part. All right, car's dirty, but it runs. I don't think I maxed out the camera in the front. I only think I got like maybe a half a degree, maybe 3/4 of a degree when I give an alignment, but I don't know. I need more negative camera in the front, so I gotta see if I can find parts. Got my stickers, and yeah, that's it. All right.